Welcome students. We'll carry on with the chapter location and size. And as you know that India is the seventh largest countries of the world. The largest country of the world is Russia, followed by Canada, then United States of America, China, Brazil, Australia and India. Now we'll discuss the topic India and the world. The Indian landmass has a central location between the East and the West Asia. India is a southward extension of the Asian continent. The Trans-Indian Ocean routes, which connect the countries of Europe in the west and the countries of East Asia, provide an important location to India. The Deccan Peninsula protrudes into the Indian Ocean, which help India to establish close contact with West Asia, Africa and Europe from the western coast and with Southeast and South Asia from the eastern coast. No other country in the world is having a longer coastline on the Indian Ocean as India. India's eminent position in the Indian Ocean, which justify the naming of the ocean after it. Now I'll tell you that why the Indian Ocean is called and why is it justified. Because India has a very long coastline and due to that it justifies the naming of the ocean after it. Now India had contact with the world. It have continued through the ages. From the ancient past, there have been contact of India by trade with other countries. But her relationship through the land routes are much older than the maritime contact. Mean the land route have been helpful to establish contact. The various passes across the mountains have provided passages to the ancient travelers, while the ocean restricted interaction for a long time. That is, it was easier to go by land than by sea. These routes have contributed in the exchange of ideas and goods. Since ancient time, there have been reference from the ideas of Upanishad and the Ramayana, the stones of Panchatantra, the Indian numerals and the decimal system all play a vital role, thus emphasizing on the fact that India had trade contact through land routes, and in this way they could reach many parts of the world. Many things were being exported like the spices, muslin and other merchandise were taken from India to different countries. On the other hand, there was a great influence of Greek sculpture and the architectural style of dome and minarets from West Asia, which can be seen in different parts of our country. Now, as you can see from the map, India on international highway of trade and commerce. From the map you can infer that how it was easier from India to trade and carry on commerce, which was very rich heritage. Now we'll start with the topic India's neighbors. India occupies an important position in South Asia. India has 28 states and 8 union territories. The recently Jammu and Kashmir have been converted into a union territory along with Ladakh. India shares its land boundaries with Pakistan and Afghanistan in the northwest, China, Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan in the north, and Myanmar, older name Burma, and Bangladesh in the east. Our southern neighbors across the sea consist of 2 island countries, namely Sri Lanka and Maldives. Sri Lanka is being separated from India by a narrow channel of sea, which is formed by the Pak Strait and the Gulf of Mannar, while Maldives Islands are situated to the south of the Lakshadweep Island. India has strong geographical and historical links with her neighbors. That is why all these things have played a strategic role in establishing trade. Not only this also acts as a unifying bond. Now, as you can see from the map, India and its adjacent countries. I've already told about them, so there is no need to discuss again. But kindly go through the Indian states and union territories, which would be helpful in the later chapters. With this, we come to the end of the chapter, and we will be carrying on with the exercises in the next video, along with some other basic hints.